I'm going to show you how to make a ring sling out of a Rebozo and a pair of sling rings, like so. A Rebozo is a Mexican sling. It's around 2 meters long, but you could also use a short woven wrap or a short scarf, as long as it's made of a strong woven fabric, to do something like this. Now this will be a one shoulder carry with the rings on my right. So I'm just going to make sure I don't have any folds or twists in the fabric, and then I'm going to put the fabric over my shoulder, and I want to have a length of fabric reaching to about my hip and the longer length coming down my back just now. Then I'm going to gather this fabric up on my shoulder, holding one hand. I'm going to take both my sling rings and put the fabric through there. So I have a long part of the sling there and a shorter part at the front. I'm then going to turn this, put this over my back and the sling rings just in the clavicle of my shoulder there. And I want to make sure that the long part of the fabric is on top of the short part of the fabric, so it's held securely there by friction. So I'm then going to take my other hand, reach behind me and find the top edge of the sling, and then I'm going to hold this top part and concertina the fabric together so that it's nice and organised, a bit like I did on my shoulder, and then bring it to my rings. Now I'm going to put my hand through the rings from the top, grab the fabric from the underneath and thread it through both rings. I'm then going to separate the rings, which hopefully you can see there, put the fabric over the top ring and post it through the underneath one. There we go. So I'm just going to check that this is nicely cupping my shoulder, and any slack that I have in this, I'm going to bring round from here through to my rings. This bottom part of the sling here should correspond to this outside edge, and when I pull, I'm going to pull back where it came from, it should tighten up. This top part, the top rail, corresponds to this, and I'm going to tighten that up by pulling it through. If I need to do an overall tighten, I can pull it back where it came from. If I want to do an overall loosen, I'm going to lift this top ring to move the fabric through. Ideally, before I put my child in, I want to have it nice and snug at the bottom, this bottom rail, so I'm going to tighten and pull there. And I want to have it looser on the top and enough room for my child. So I'm just going to tighten up a little bit there. If I feel that I need to tighten up through the middle, then I'm almost doing like a triangle of tightening, like a starburst effect, making sure that the fabric goes through the rings back where it came from.